No way.
Is there an organisation to help Slovenes if you need advice, or do you help each other?
We did help each other, but there was no organisation at all. No organization. The only thing I could help, is it on? The only thing I had, as far as the bank was concerned, I always had very, very good credit, because they called me the general manager and all that, and then the bank manager said, if he says something, you trust him, he'll do it. I said, you will have so many thousand next 7 days, and he got it. And he gave me extra facilities. But at the very beginning, when it was question of that, all right, you won't lend me £250. And then I went to my friends and asked 2 friends for £100 each. And I brought it there. And then bank manager seen that. He said, you don't go anywhere else, you borrow from me. And from then on, mine was really plain sailing. To the very end, really. And then when the bank manager phoned me and he said, I had more stock value on the stock market than we owe the bank. But he wanted me to sell that. You know what I mean? I said, I'm not going to do that. Because that was real money, innit? I owed him £25,000 and the stock was worth 30,000. Plus the factories and all the business. And I didn't want to do that. I said, no, we will go to voluntary liquidation and then the bank will pay up. And what happened is, the whole complete debt was £45,000, and we sold one factory for 90,000, and he paid.
Yeah.
They are really not poor Slovenes. They all got the houses, and they are all pretty well off. Practically well off as far as they all got a pension. Most of them extra pensions. It's not really poverty as far as we are concerned.
Do you know of anyone who's gone back, who's actually returned?
It's 1 or 2 gone back, yeah. They're very disappointed.
They were disappointed with Britain? Or
No. They mainly gone back. Either he was here by himself, he couldn't get married, and mother drove him back. One went because of mother, and he's very sorry. He would like to come back, it's not too late. One went home because there was a family there and he was by himself. It's only not for 2, really. No. Most of our people there, we are really happy as far as the rest is concerned.
When you look back, as your experience as a refugee when you came to Britain, do you think you were treated fairly by the British
Very fairly,
government?
yeah. I got no complaints at all. We come in here and we were one of them straight away. No problems at all. No problems at all. And then my accountant told me after about 2 years after, he said, it wasn't, he said, a couple of months, and then when you come here, and then we knew straight away you are tidy people, hard-working people, just the people we want. Yeah, that's the accountant told me. And then, as I say, no problems at all. And then in the pit, the secretary, he said, I am a communist, and he always wanted to talk to me. No problems whatsoever. And then he was saying, look, I am the communist, I've done nothing all my life. Look, he said, you are 2 years here, you got a house and 16 lodgers. Very well. Never any problems whatsoever. We didn't go in any arguments, which you done. And then I tell you one thing, when elections come, we decided ourselves, most of us vote Tories. Both conservatives.
Do you?
Most of us, yeah. Because anything smells about the communism, we just don't want to know. Yet we got friends here. I'm a member of the choir, 2 choirs. We got friends here. They are staunch Labour. We mustn't talk politics amongst themselves. Yes, we are very good friends. After all, very good friends.
Could I ask you a bit more about the book of Tolstoy? Did you read the first one, The Victims of Your Time?
No. But I was told about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was told about it.
Yes, I suppose it was The Minister and the Massacres.
It's the one, I got that one here.
Yes, you are mentioned in it, aren't you? In The Minister and the Massacres, your story.
What happened is that when he was writing this book, I heard about it, and then one day, that Dr. Janez sent me a little encounter. He said, you should go in touch with him and tell the story. You know. So I phoned Mr. Tolstoy, but I couldn't get through with him. I think there was different. So I wrote him a little note that I want to escape, and he sent me a card, and he said, "Will I come visit him?" So it was January. 1 January it was in the winter, I remember. I'm not quite sure which year. And then I went there and visited him. I spent with him a day. And I told him what he put in the book. Must have been about 2 years before he actually wrote the book on it.
Did you yourself learn anything from his book? You know, did you learn anything that you didn't know before? When the book
Not
was
about
published?
Slovenia so much, but about other Russia and other things. I didn't know so much. Oh yes, of course. But what he put in the book is the truth. Is the truth. Whichever, especially about Slovenia, I know. But I'm sure it would be the same thing. There were some Cossacks army there in Slovenia. We were not involved with them, but there were some, especially on the other side when the Germans occupied in Steierska and this and that. But as I say, the main problem about these partisans and all that was in the area when Mussolini occupied. Because men were there. Mussolini didn't take them anyway, see? You know, he took them in Rab and things like that, but he let them go back.
How about the trial, you know, the recent trial between Aldington and Tolstoy and Nigel Watts?
What happened is the solicitor wrote me a letter, and he said that maybe they will want me as a witness. So he asked me will I come to London, and I went to London. I saw him one day, gave him all the story, what, you know, just chat. No? And then after he phoned me again, and he said they want me to London, and he told me when I had to come in the morning, you know, a certain morning, and I went there.
And did you appear in the witness box?
Oh yes. I was the very first one of Slovenes.
You know, were you given an opportunity, do you think, to tell your story? You know?
They didn't interested about my story so much. All that other side, Aldington, the barrister was asking me about Slovenia, about Rupnik, about Oberst of German, which I didn't know really, and what was the setup, right? Where we got arms from Germans, what we were fighting there, how we were fighting, and things like that. Mostly of it. He said, we heard about your story, but we don't want to know that. He also asked me, did I know that the English sending me back? I said, no, I didn't. Things like that. They were not really interested so much in it, but he was asking me more political stuff, what happened. He asked me if Rupnik was elected, and things like that. But Rupnik was elected because the previous one, who was elected, was killed. And Rupnik was put on his spot. Like Kennedy was killed and Johnson became Prime Minister, or things like that. Communists killed him, they get him out of the way.
Yes. Well, was the point they were getting at, was this confusion, was it, with how the British sort of were confused with all the different groups of people coming out of Yugoslavia, and who had sort of been working with the Germans and who hadn't? Do you think that was something they were getting at in your case?
They bound to be confused, and I am absolutely sure that they were confused. But it doesn't mean that if you are confused, you don't give a chance to stay a couple of days to ask him what he is, isn't it? They just simply turn us back.